Evening, gents. Hope you're well. Here we go again with midweek All-Stars getting to the business end now. So we're at game week 20, 7 games to go, including tonight's fixtures. You'd probably say that everybody, down to probably Townsville, still in a chance with the top 6. If they were, they'd have to be pretty flawless, but Hobart and Vikings definitely still fancy the chances, and obviously Dragons and Blitz right in the mix. And these sides between sort of 5th and 8th have been swapping places quite frequently over recent weeks. Jens, can you go first? Yep, you can, providing you can just confirm that you can hear what I'm saying. That would be magic. Ian and Daz as well in the chat. And so tonight's fixtures, we've got Aborigines Wanganui, Blitz Rapa Nui, Hobart Dragons, Tutafua Bush Rats, Unicorns Warriors, Vanuatu AFC, and Vikings Townville. Even to Dimble. So we'll start with Jens as requested. Just wait, see that the sound is okay. Should be fine. So we'll start with Jens. Vikings being on a little bit of a resurgent run in recent weeks after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially more, 6, 7, 8, 9 without a win. New tactic far from Jens, and changing shape. Sazalko back up front by himself, and 3 wins on the bounce off the back of that. So this is how they line up tonight. Looking pretty strong. Up against Hodges Townsville, who continue with the 3 at the back. Dede was tried at AMC last time out, didn't work, so Imar is back in there with Ferguson, Morris and Tristan up front. So can the Vikings comeback continue even in Savage, or can the Townsville 3 at the back thwart them? Quick start from Vikings, couple of chances for Sazalko, and we've got an injury to I might just wait and see if Hodge is about. If not, it'll be Killy Gonzalez on for Imar with Del Piero switching up to AMC. I'll just get that ready, wait and see if Hodge is about or wants to do anything different. Steve, hope you are well. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's going to be Imar off for Killy Gonzalez and swap with Del Piero, unless Hodge is about and got a few seconds to tell me that he wants to do something different. Evening to Dan, who is here, I guess, on behalf of the Unicorns, or just as a fan. Who knows, but it's good to have you around. I don't think Hodge is with us, so we're going to run like that and play this one on towards half-time. Still Vikings looking to be the more creative of the two sides. 2 or 3 chances for Sazalko so far in this first half an hour. Varon heavily involved as well. Tudor's name been mentioned a few times. Evening Duggan, hope you're well. And we get to half-time 0-0. Felt all Vikings, 4 attempts, 3 on target, just the 1 attempt from Townsville. A quick look at Jens' stats as he's here. Pretty decent display on the face of it. 7s and 8 for Montero, Tudor and Maxim. And over at Townsville, Del Piero moved up to AMC because of that injury. Not having the best of games, plenty of 6s in there. Taib continuing to do well. He's been pretty good for Hodge this season, I think. just wait and see if either Hodgie pops up or if Jens wants to do anything. As this from Jens, I'm pretty sure Hodgie's not here, but we'll just give him 10 seconds. Yeah, we will run it on to 60. I feel like we've gone all Martin Peterson and Super League, slowing it down from 45 minutes, but it just makes it so much easier to stop it on 60. Otherwise, sometimes it flies through to 70, 75 minutes. Doesn't give you much time to try and change things if it's not going your way. Townsville looked to have a little bit more of the ball in the second half. Big chance from Ferguson, saved by Toldo. Victor looking busy out on the right, trying to supply Cezalco. Tybee with a save. Romadal brings it away. We're going to get to 60 at 0-0 by the looks of things. Potatoes here, good evening, Spud. A couple of attempts for Townsville looked a little bit livelier in that 15 minutes since the break. Del Piero's still struggling on a 5. Tybee still on an 8 and still 6s and 7s across the board. Over at Vikings, we've got now 9s for Montero and Tudor, and 8 for Maxim. 7s for everybody else. No real fitness issues, but we'll just see if Jens wants to do anything. Maybe Carlos that's the potential could come on and two up front, but I think he'll lose a little bit of Cezalco's influence if he's in a pair. So I wouldn't have thought that Jens would do that. Go to AMC with an arrow. For Ron Central, no arrow magic. Like week. Hodgie's not about, so we'll run it through. Duggan reckons this has got Maxim 1-0 written all over it, and he would not be surprised one bit if that was the case. And Lads has been sent off, and that is not what Hodgie wanted to see. I'm going to drop Ferguson in there. Evening Liam. And we'll put Gio on for him. Just wait 10 seconds just in case Hodgie drops in. Crucial point in the game and season. 15 minutes to go. A draw doesn't really do either of these sides any favours. But we will run. Jens, just let me know. Is there anything you want to do tactically off the back of the red card? If not, we'll run it through. Any update on the Forest game, lads? Is it still 1-0? I'm just going to assume Jens doesn't want to do anything, and we will run it on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One apiece. Must have been improved. Forest were fucking dreadful first half. And it is Ndiaye, unlikely scorer, puts Vikings 1-0 up with 7 minutes left on the clock. We get to full time. A huge goal for Ndiaye and a huge goal for Vikings, making the most of the man advantage in the last 15 minutes. Came on strong, 9 attempts, 5 on target, just 4 for Townsville. Lots and lots of 6s in there. Nesta did okay, as did Tybee, but not the performance Townsville would have wanted or needed away at Vikings, unfortunately. Tudor comes in, picks up man of the match. Won plenty of headers, a couple of tackles, no assist, but a huge goal for Ndiaye and the Vikings. There you go, Jens. Right, next up we've got Vanuatu versus AFC. Guede in for Raul, and Arca is in for Baumer for Rocks. And over at any changes, I feel like it was an as is from Steve. So let's see how this one pans out. AFC probably too far back for the playoffs, but could have an impact with the sides that they're playing in and around over the next few weeks. Picked up some decent results and performances in the last couple of games. And a glorious 30-yard strike from Constantine, who puts Vanuatu 1-0 up. Big goal, and it is Constantine at the double. 4 minutes later, Mason Javan down the other end on 37 minutes has pulled a goal back and a lifeline for AFC. Here, Steve will have been thinking that was wrapped up almost after 20 minutes, but Javan has got AFC right back in it. And now pushing for equaliser just before half time, but we get to half time at 2-1. 5 attempts from Vanuatu, just 2 from AFC, but they did get a goal back through Javan. Cordoba playing okay on an 8 at the back, 6 and 7 for everybody else at AFC. Not sure if Rox is about, but if you are, give us a shout. Over at Vanuatu, a double from Constantinu, having an impressive first half assist from Manu Petit. No real issues with any fitness, so you wouldn't suspect that Steve will want to do anything just yet. And Steve is going to roll. So we will play this through to 16 minutes. Steele would love a third goal to get that 2-goal cushion back. Starting to get to the near the end of the season now, where every game, every point is crucial. So many teams in and around the mix. Van der Vaart, who's been impressive in spells for Vanuatu this season, involved Contra as well, been very, very good this season. And it is Van der Vaart, as mentioned, has got the third goal and restored the 2-goal advantage for Vanuatu as we get to 60 minutes. Vanuatu coming forward again. Van der Vaart on the volley, and he's doubled his tally, and that is game, set, and match. Van der Vaart's been exceptional. That is his 7th goal in 10 games with an assist as well. What an inspired signing from Steve. 6 attempts from Vanuatu, 5 on target. AFC, just the one still. Rocks still having keeper issues, but also defender, midfielder issues tonight as well. Is Steve going to change it up? Are we going to get a run out for Brozek or Finnan or Lusanov? I would suspect nothing, and it is nothing. Still be absolutely delighted with that Van der Vaart's brace, and we'll run this through to 90 minutes. And Van der Vaart involved again, looking for a hat-trick, and it's all one-way traffic now. Vanuatu, but as I say, that Javan has got another goal back, surely only consolation at this stage, and we do get to full time. 2-1 in each half to Vanuatu, 4-2 full time. A brace from Constantinu and Van der Vaart and Javan. 10 attempts, 8 on target for the home side, 4 and 3 for the away side. Comes out with a credit. Kieran Dyer did well. He's also been very, very good this season, averaging up towards 8 across the season. Over at Vanuatu, Van der Vaart picks up man of the match and gets a 10, involved with headers, tackles, 5 shots from central midfield, 2 goals. Constantine with a brace, but 8s, 9s, and 10s with a sultry 7 for Nikiforenko. Round off an impressive Vanuatu home win. Next up, we've got a huge game in the race for the playoffs. 6th place Bushrats versus 4th place Tutafua. I've seen Tato and Liam, so this should be an epic. Ashley Live is in for the Bush Rats. I think Emerton is in on the right hand side as well. Oh, that might have been last game. Anyway, Ashley Live is in at DMC over at Tutavua. I don't think they've made any changes. Wouldn't expect it unless it was forced, but that looks very much as is. Just a switcheroo between Said and Desai. So, both huge game in the race for the playoffs. Number of teams interested in this result, and not what Tato would have wanted. First minute, Brett Emerton has been sent off. And now something to really think about for Tato. No real right hand side option on the bench. Potentially shift Rayner out there and go 2 DMCs, or take a striker off. Maybe put a Pier on and shift Rayner out there, but it looks like it's going to have to be Rayner unless he goes with Gus Lopez, who is incredibly left-footed. Evening, Rob. Hope you're well. You've not played yet. Rayner to midfield, right. No arrows on the DMC, so Ashley Live, Michael Stewart in there, and that is not what Bush Rats needed. I'm going to assume, Liam, just give me a quick shout in the next 15 seconds if you want to do anything, but I would assume off the back of that in the first minute you'd do nothing. Magic. So let's get this first half up and running, and Saviola straight away, fifth goal of the season, 3 minutes in, but a penalty down at the other end. Adilson has scored again. Oh my goodness, Ortega on the score sheet after 12 minutes and it's 2-1. And what a first half we've got. And Saviola 18 minutes in and it's 3-1. 4 goals on a red card inside the first 20 minutes. Absolute madness. It was looking like Vanuatu AFC was going to be game of the night, but we could have a strong contender here as well. Yellow cards flying around as well as goals and red cards and penalties, and lots to digest. 3-1 we get to half time. A brace from Saviola and Ortega for 2-2. A Dilson penalty for the away side. And we've got 2 assists for Van Nistelrooy, who's been impressive in a pair. Desai, Big Dick Desai with an assist as well. Saviola exceptional with a couple of goals. Over at the Bush Rats, we've got Costanzo on a 5. Biscuit fingers. Brett Emerton obviously sent off. Ryan Giggs doing not a lot again, and not a great deal to shout about for Tato. Liam's going to roll naturally, wouldn't expect anything else. See if Tato wants to do anything. I can only see this being one-way traffic unless Tato can come up with some kind of tactical miracle in the last half. Costanzo off for die. Right, that's that. Let's run it through. 60. Tato's predicting a 4 or 5-1 full time. 2 doing a great run of form. Ortega's been exceptional this season. Giggs misses the target from a free kick. Good tackle for Live, puts Bush Rats on the counter attack. Having Crespo linking up, but a good save from Nick Matulin. Giggs whips in the corner, but Campbell clears out for another corner. He clears this time away. Approaching 60, down at the other end, 2-2 have a corner. Plus CC clears to Vieira. We've got a foul on him to caught into the book. And we get to 60 minutes. Clean through Van Nistelrooy. David Day with the save. And we get to 60. A chance apiece, I think, in that 15 minutes. We've got 3 bookings for 2-0 with Decor, Desai and Said, all of defensive midfield 3, something for them to ponder. Saviola up to a 10. Over at Bush Rats, sixes and sevens, barring the guys that have been sent off or substituted. Options for Tato appear Lopez and Zizi Roberts. Can feel some kind of one at the back, throw a couple of midfielders into AMC, kind of something from Bushrats. Don't think they can leave it and just let this one peter out. Goes off for Youngberg. AMC. 2-4. We'll wait and see what Tato wants to do. Stewart swap with Rain. Lopez on a right mid. Extend the wing arrows to the top. Push it also in front of free. Like that. Anything else? Just let me know that's exactly what you want. Tavua, if they hold on here, are probably one win away from a queue. Magic, I would suspect. One to look at the league table a little bit later on, but incredible run of form. And it's peeling out with already 87 minutes on the clock. Bushrats just couldn't put any significant pressure on or create any chances to try and get back into it, and a really impressive win for Tavua. 8 attempts, 6 on target, 3 goals. Bushrats 5 attempts, 2 on target, 1 goal. Pretty much sevens across the board with Lasisi and Michael Stewart with 6s. Emerton sent off and Costanzo pulled off for the Bushrats. 2 match on a 10. 3 shots, 3 on target, 2 goals, 2 assists for Van Nistelrooy, gets a 9. A lot of 8s and 9s across the board as well. Great performance to the Tavua boys. Next up, we've got Rob's Rapa Nui versus Dimble's Blitz. Another big game towards the top of the table. Rob goes like this. Is there any changes? I don't think there is. Oh, we've got Udesi in for Valharan at centre back. Blitz line up like this. The 3 AMC experiment is over for now, with Mendia dropping into the central midfield, collusioning but the DMCs with Omri and Echeverria in support of the red-hot Nicholas Anelka. Good luck to both in another huge game. Blitz with the early pressure, chance for Anelka, but we've got an injury to Zambrotta. Not what Dimble would have wanted. I would expect to see Alex or Eto come on to the right wing back spot, potentially Mendieta, but I think Dimble will leave him in midfield and put Echeverria out there. Just be a case of whether he wants Alex or Eto in at AMC. And it is going to be Eto who gets the nod. So Echeverria will switch out to right wing back. Eto is in to support Anelka alongside Henry. Fine save, Rapa Nui with a chance. Somebody into the book, potentially Anelka. 25, 27 minutes on the clock. Chances at both ends, but yet to get the breakthrough. Eto involved. Calm with a big save. Eto and Anelka linking up nicely. Heading towards half time, still 0-0. Echeverria and Eto has got the ball in the back of the net, but it's been disallowed. Eto and Anelka linked up a couple of times nicely since the substitution. But we do get to half time at 0-0 because of that disallowed goal. Blitz with the more chances, 5 versus the 2 from Rapa Nui. Eto's come on and done okay. Kaluzny and Butt really impressive in DMC together, with 12 out of 13 tackles completed. Mendieta as well in centre midfield doing a good job. Can't see Dimble wanting to do anything just yet. Over at Rapa Nui, we've got 6s and 7s with the exception of Khan, who again is exceptional for Rapa Nui. Welsh, Richie Wellens and Elber. The options from the bench, Salah's not been involved at all, and Rob loves a striker swap, so we could see that potentially. Rob's going to roll it to 60, so we will slow it down a little bit so we don't miss it. Boyu's been pretty impressive in central midfield for Rob, involved at the start of the second half. And there he is again. And the inevitable striker switch at 60 is coming from Rob. Nelka, horribly wrong. Eto involved again, goes past a couple of players. Kaluzny whips a free kick in. Eto 30 yards from goal, links up with Kaluzny for a second time. I'm going to get to 60 minutes. Henri with a chance. Mendieta, Khan with a stage fumbles it clear. And we still go. Khan again with a great save, and Blitz have a corner. Salas for Elber at 60. Anything else, Rob, let me know while I go and have a look at the stats and go across to Dimble. 7 attempts now for Blitz, 3 from Rapa Nui. Lee Bowyer, as mentioned, doing a really good job in midfield. Oliver Khan continues to impress. And as Duggan mentions, Eto's had a really good influence on this game since coming on. He's on an 8, linked up well with Omri and Elka a few times. Kaluzny, Butt and Mendieta are still doing a great job in midfield. Wouldn't think that Dimble will change this. They've done everything but score, to be honest. He's going to push on the wing-back arrows, but apart from that, nothing. And we're also going to see Richie Wellens come on. In centre midfield alongside Bowyer. So 30 minutes to go in this big game that's impacting the top 2 and the top 6. Still 0-0 between Blitz and Rapa Nui. Candela with a chance. Anelka as well involved at the other end. France could get a goal either way here. And it is that man again. Scored so many match-winning goals this season. Anelka to the Blitz, and that must be 3 or 4 times now that he's scored a late goal to win the game for Blitz. Been absolutely outstanding. Heartbreak for Rob, still well in the mix, and a massive 3 points for Blitz, who probably on the balance of it deserved to nick that one. 10 attempts, 6 on target for them, 5 and 1 for Rapa Nui. Not a terrible performance on the face of it from Rob, with the exception of D'Alessandro, who was pretty poor. Salas hooked at 60 for Elbe, who did better. Hoffland did well. Lots of 7s in there. But over at Blitz, well, Samuel, immense. Nicky Butt, incredible. Kaluzny, very good. Mendieta, very good. Eto, impressive from the bench. And Anelka doing what he does. Not got the biggest average, but he's got now 16 goal contributions in 20 games, and that is shit hot. Well played, Dims, and unlucky to Rob. Next up, we have the Dragons versus Hobart. I'm not sure if I've seen Kitchen down about, but if you're here, mate, give us a shout so we know. Quick look at the Dragons lineup. A couple of little tweaks. We've got Chances to Ronnie Johnson to DMC and Mourinho at centre back. Archie back, Ronaldinho and Clivert spearheading the Dragons attack. Over at Hobart, we've got Michelini in for Davids, I think it was, who is potentially suspended. And Festival back in goal. So another game that's got big ramifications on top six picture. Hobart chasing, as well as Dragons looking to secure that top six spot. 26 minutes and nothing's happened before we get any first action of the half. Ronaldinho looking to get involved. 40 minutes and don't think we've had a shot. We have had one shot off target from Hobart in a half that hasn't got a great deal to report. Milito has got an 8 for a couple of decent tackles in there. Over at Dragons, 7s and 6s. No real issues with any fitness, but that, yeah, as Duggan says, was pretty horrific. Both sides cancelling each other out. Just wouldn't expect anybody to knee-jerk just yet, but just see if anybody wants to make a change. Okay, Duggan is going to roll the dice first. Bishan on a 6 and a booking is off. Matt Kerr is on with a little diag arrow. I just give Dan 20 seconds to see if he's here. No, so we're going to run it on. Not sure whether he's still on the other side of the Atlantic or if he's back yet, but we shall play to 60. Matt Kerr on for Bishchamp for Dragons. Yellow card for Vieira, foul on Inzaghi, who's been pretty decent for Hobart. Ronaldinho with a chance but sends it wide. And Ronaldinho looking to influence this game, and he has. Supplied Archie back, who opens the scoring on 52 minutes for the Dragons. A huge goal that would really boost their playoff chances and probably just about rule Hobart out if things were to stay as they are. Emerson with a chance, but a big save from Buffon as we approach 60 minutes. Shevchenko coming forward, has his shirt pulled. Ronaldinho takes a yellow card for that. And we get to just about 60 minutes. Archie back has a go, but he puts it wide. And we get to 60. 1-0 Dragons with their first attempt on target. We have had a couple more shots since the break. Still not a classic, but Duggan won't care if he can hold on to this 3 points. It was Ronaldinho with the assist for Archie back. Got yellow cards for Ronaldinho and Vieira. Over at Hobart, 6s and 7s, with the exception of Milito, who continues to do well. At the back, Duggan is going to go as is. Dan is not around, so we will run it through. "20 minutes to go." Feels quite frantic still. Is there any late drama? Mourinho into the book. 5 minutes to go. Our Dragons are going to hold on. There's a sucker punch coming from Hobart. Inzaghi scored some big goals for them. But we do get to 90 minutes and full time, and Duggan will breathe a massive sigh of relief. Not a classic, but at this stage of the season, it really doesn't matter. It's all about the points on the board. 8 attempts, 3 on target for Hobart, but just couldn't convert. Just the 4 attempts, 2 on target for Dragons, but Archie back's all-important goal supplied by Ronaldinho. 6 bookings for Dragons. Decent performance from Buffon. Over at Hobart, Milito picks up man of the match. Michelini was okay as well. But Hobart probably just about out of the top 6 race off the back of that. Well done to Duggan and unlucky to Dan. Next we have Aborigines at the bottom versus Mike's Wanganui. Line up like this. Is it an as-is? It could be an as-is. Jeremy's back with the armband as requested. Over at Aborigines, we have got the 3 MCs back up to AMC. Some personnel tweaks. Agahawa Sedoff and Amoroso supporting Tomadera. Can the bottom side have an influence at the race at the top? And it is Amoroso who's opened the scoring for Aborigines. And it looks like it's Aborigines who look the more likely, and they have doubled the lead through Tomadera. A 2-0 against a side who've been in the top 2 or 3 almost all season. The whole season's been based on being solid defensively, but they've been breached twice in the first 45 minutes by Daz's Aborigines, who will be pleased but also probably a bit frustrated that it's coming too late. So we've got Vogel doing an okay job in midfield. Johnny Cheddar not doing the best, no tackles made. And yeah, apart from that, nothing to shout about for Wanganui, who just had the one attempt on target over at Aborigines. Plenty of 8s in there with a few 7s. Really good first half performance. Goals from Amoroso and Tomadera, Agahawa and Zanetti with the assists. Mike is going to go as is. I would suspect that Daz will probably do the same. He's going to drop a Sid off into MC. Try and show things up. So second half underway. Aborigines 2, Wanganui 0. Tomadera with another chance. And we're going to get to 60 minutes. Aborigines come forward once more. And we get to 62 minutes. Yeah, I think, Mike, for a long period, you barely conceded any goals. I think you conceded like 3 in the first 16, 17. But yeah, I think the fact that you don't score that many, and now last few games you've conceded a few, has really opened up your weakness and lack of goal threat. Anyway, 6 attempts for Aborigines, who still lead 2-0. Littered with 8s, 9s for Janoviski. Daz wants to run to 60, but we're at 60, so it'll be to 90. Let me know if there's anything that you want to do instead. Over at Wanganui, we've got an 8 still for Vogel, but not a great deal else. Cuevas and Berg on the bench. Berg has been okay for Wanganui. 7 goal contributions in 14 starts. Could see him for Donovan or Robbie Keane here. Cuevas maybe as an option. And it's going to be Berg for Donovan. Extend Robbie Keane's arrow. So we'll play this one through to the end. 2-0 Aborigines. Again, and it is Tomadera. Duggan mentioned a big call to bring him in and put his faith in him. And we're on the stroke and full time, but an injury to Zeraberto. I mean, I think the game's gone. It's 3-0. Probably just throw Cuevas on there, but yeah, the game's made its decision, or maybe so. But I just think, to be honest, that Aborigines have been the better side. They've created more chances. They've been clinical, and fair play to Daz. Write this one off, Mike, and go again. Yeah. I don't think don't think so, Mike. You'd only conceded 4 or 5 all season. But we get to full-time. Aborigines are the first side to score 3 past Wanganui this season, inspired by Tomadera and Amoroso. Agahawa picks up an assist, gets a 10, wins some headers and probably completed some dribbles as well, 4 interceptions. Yes, not this save this season. First time that Daz has scored at more than 2 this season. Not sure about last season, but definitely this season. Over at Wanganui, not a great deal to shout about, but Vogel on an 8. Apart from that, not a great deal to shout about. Impressive from Daz and unlucky to Mike. Next, we go across to Wagga Waggas against the Unicorns. Not seen smuts. I assume that Mega Horse is looking after them. What have we got? We've got Zet Elias out. Roy Keane drops to the MC. Zanoni comes into midfield. Strand, who's done well from the bench of late, comes in. Sedan is still out of the first team, and Smith, who did well before injury, comes in to start with Ronaldo and Rivaldo dropping to the bench. Over at the Unicorns, we've got Juan Gomez out for Oya and Gareth Barrett out for Sami Hupia. So another game that has big influence at the top. Unicorns versus Warriors. Pens with a chance off the upright, and Unicorns pushing hard to take an early lead. Harasimovic into the book. And a second book in there. Didn't see who that was for, but it is David Collins who opens the scoring for the Unicorns, but Harasimovic at the other end at levels. And on 32 minutes makes it 2-1 to Warriors. Plenty of goals in the first half tonight. And it's looking... Oh, that's not pretty. It's a red card for high check. What are we going to do then? We're going to do a Smith for Rivaldo. Swap Figo. And we will go like that. Dan, I assume you don't want to do anything, and we'll roll it to half time. But if you do want to change anything, let me know. It could be, but we will check after this. Oh, good. So we'll run it to half time. Oh, fuck's sake, man. Right into the business end, and we've got 2 red cards to key players, and it looks like we're going to have to just write this one off. Fucking hell. I mean, I don't know why I'm even trying to save this one, but let's just fucking roll with that. Let's see if we can stay in it. Yeah, we've got 6 attempts, 5 on target for Unicorns, 2 attempts, 1 on target for Warriors. But the talking point, the red cards to Roy Keane and the high check, big influential players, Harasimovic and Yap Stam into the book as well. And the high check did pick up the assist before being sent off. Beckham with an assist for Unicorns. Pens and Collins with the goals. Collins up on an 8. Everybody else doing okay. Don't really think there's a great deal I can do, to be honest. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it. Just see if Dan wants to do anything. 2 to 4 really pushing hard to get into that top 2, as well as, you know, there'll be some other sides, Blitz and Dragons, thinking there's a massive opportunity with Warriors looking like they're going to lose here, and Wanganui and Rapa Nui all losing. It's going to be incredibly tense and tight after this game. Dan, anything for you at half time for the Unicorns? Galletti for Del Vecchio. Okay, so let's get this to 60 minutes. If we can somehow get out of here with a point, it would be incredible. I just don't see it. I don't see anything that I can do. Harasimovic has been our best player. I'm just going to leave it and see if there's anything that Dan wants to do. No real chances in that first 20 minutes. No real issues with any fitness. So we Helguera or Santa Cruz for Dan and the Unicorns, or nothing, you would think. Surprised that we're still in the game on 64 minutes, to be honest. Play on, thanks. So we will run it through. I can't see us creating a great deal at all. Oh, corner. We'll get through to 82 minutes. And we've not disgraced ourselves with 9 men. Not that it's helped us. I assume that's just going to be Santa Cruz, but I'll just wait for Dan to confirm. Oh, no problem at all, Duggan. It is a pleasure. Great to keep the momentum going. Been some excellent game weeks. And thank you to yourself, as well as Steve and everybody else who's contributed over the last few weeks to keep the shows rolling. It's been good, and we're getting to the business end, and it's exciting. And a late equaliser here would be magic. Vigo with a chance, but unfortunately, 2 sendings off killed the game for the Warriors, and to be honest, limited Unicorns to only a couple of attempts in that second half, which was okay. But yeah, we just didn't have the players on the pitch. Harasimovic did well. Apart from that, not a great deal we could have done. Collins picks up man of the match for a goal and a 9. And Penza, Zauri, Malevsky, Hupia and Ejiofor all with decent performances as well. So that is the end of tonight's show. And we've got the classifieds look like this. Aborigines 3, Wanganui 0, Blitz 1, Rapa Nui 0, Hobart 0, Dragons 1, 2 Tavua up to 3rd now, 3, Bushrats 1, Unicorns 2, Warriors 1, Vanuatu 4, AFC 2, who do hit the bottom, and Vikings 1 at Townsville 0, leaving the table looking like this. And wow, we had a huge gap between the top 2 or 3 a few weeks ago. And now Wanganui, who were top for so long, well, in the top 2 for so long, and now 5th. Warriors still top on 37, Rapa Nui 2nd on 36, Tutavua 35, Vanuatu 4th on 33, level with Wanganui. Blitz complete the top 6 on 30, then we've got Dragons level on points, and then we've got Bushrats and Vikings, who are definitely still in the mix. On 27, Hobart, Unicorns and Townsville probably too far back, and for the first time I think all season, since game week 4, 5, Aborigines are off the bottom, replaced by AFC. Some huge fixtures coming up over the next 6 games. Next round on Sunday with Dan looks like this. AFC versus Hobart, Bushrats versus Blitz in a huge playoff game. Dragons versus Aborigines, Townsville, Vanuatu, Unicorns, Vikings, top versus 2nd, as well as Wanganui 5th, 2 to go in 3rd. Incredible set of fixtures next week. I can just see these sides swapping places consistently over the next 6 games. You wouldn't write off any side from 9th. You wouldn't be surprised if any side from 9th up get in to the playoffs. Absolutely madness. Quick look for the rest of the fixtures. Pull out some highlights. Got 2-0 Blitz in a couple of weeks, as well as Vanuatu Wanganui. And then we've got Bushrats Vanuatu still to come. Warriors 2-0 to come. We've got Vikings Bushrats to come. Vanuatu Rapa Nui. Some big games. Blitz Vanuatu. Rapa Nui Vikings. Still plenty of fixtures in there for teams to take points off each other. Last game of the season, we've got Warriors Dragons, Vikings Blitz, Vanuatu 2-0. Wow, incredible. Right, chaps, thanks for joining me. I will progress the save and get it uploaded. Packs maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Next show, Sunday, as we welcome Dan back. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, boys.